I came to Ballymena because I was told it was a powder keg, but as you can see, it's been a bit of a damp squib. For 3 nights, Ballymena was burning. Once the home of Ian Paisley and his firebrand loyalist rhetoric, it was now the site of anti-immigrant rioting.
You fuck our foreigners!
Rioters threw petrol bombs, smashed windows, and burned down immigrants' homes. Many called it a pogrom. The violence erupted after 2 teenagers, believed to be Romanian, were charged with sexual assault. A vigil held to show support for the alleged victim, a teenage girl, turned violent when a group broke away and deliberately attacked the homes of immigrants. People all over Ballymena put British flags and signs in their windows to show that locals lived there, hoping the rioters would spare them. People also put up signs in their homes to show that the good kind of immigrants lived there.
Ballymena has been described as quite a tinderbox because before Ballymena was quite homogenous. Then we had a lot of immigration coming in the mid-teens, the 2010s. And sadly with perceptions from locals, that has caused a lot of tension within the area. So I think this here was basically the spark that lit the tinderbox in terms of tension here in Ballymena. Normally, people are scared to maybe talk to media because that may put a target on their back in terms of being targeted by violence in future. They're very much afraid of their neighbours' reaction, most likely.
Unfortunately, violence against women and girls in Northern Ireland is nothing new. 25 women have been murdered in Northern Ireland since 2020, and research suggests that 98% of Northern Irish women have experienced some form of abuse.
It started off as a peaceful protest for the young girls, and now it is spiralling out of control, and I can agree with that. But, as it's going, for years now, this has been a bubbling issue, and nothing's really been done by our local government, our local MPs, nothing. So, from seeing what's going on and what's being portrayed on social media about our town, it's quite devastating. Like, it's gonna take years for us to recover from this.
And the situation in Ballymena is now worldwide for just rioting, and nobody says, well, why were we rioting?
We've seen kind of all over Ballymena people with Union Jack stickers in their window to try and keep themselves safe. Did you put one up?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I think in a time where you are advocating for the rights and safety of women and children, I should not have to feel like I have to put up tribal effigies in my home to guarantee my safety in my own hometown.
Like a few years ago, I could imagine myself getting involved in that, even if I didn't know what was going on. Just trying to be cool, or trying to be someone I'm not, and I think there's people there that have the motive and the good to let's get these people out of this country, to keep our streets safe. But I feel like half of them are also just kids that are just trying to get involved,
Mm-hmm. If they were watching this now, what would you tell them?
Just wise up before you can, you know what I mean?
But as well as that, there's a couple of young boys out there that just see it as, let's go for the police, let's just do it, let's do this and that.
A big bit of crack.
A big bit of crack, exactly. They just see it as a bit of fun, but it's not fun. They're making the message be lost. The message is, we are against abusers. We want protection for our women. We want protection for our children. But they're turning anti-rape into anti-race, and that's just how it's going.
And I just hate that some of these people are coming, and I don't think a lot of the people that are coming here protesting are from here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's shaking his head, he knows, and they're coming from all over, and now all of a sudden it's Larne and Corey and it's everywhere else, and everybody's jumping in the bandwagon.
What about you, Chris? You're a young guy. Are you going to be rioting later?
No, I will not be doing any rioting. Personally, I think it's a very dark stain in this town. The message has been completely lost. We're a town that has suffered a lot in the past. We're in the centre of the Bible Belt of Northern Ireland, and we are just sort of shaving ourselves here, to be honest. Violence is not the way to go forward with this. It's not going to solve anything. There needs to be pressure on our MPs, on our MLAs, and everybody that sort of can make a difference. Wrecking our own town ain't going to do nothing for anybody.
People from not even Northern Ireland, have came here and actually videoed this on lives to get traction on their own accounts. Like I seen someone from Newcastle who got a book back home today to video the riots. So I think that our town is being made a complete spectacle of and nobody's saving us.
There is not a racist bone in my body by any means. Do not take it this way. But there is a certain amount of gangs in that area where this has happened that have been up and coming for years. When I was 14 years old, I was a victim not of sexual abuse, but of violence from them same gangs. And a number of names and a number of addresses and so forth have been given across to the PSNI to see if they could sort of tackle the situation that was ongoing, and nothing was ever done by it. And I think now people are just starting to see the cam isn't getting them anywhere, even though it's completely losing the message of what this was meant to do in the first place. But the cam isn't doing anything, and people are starting to get frustrated with that towards their own local MPs and stuff. So, yeah.
There's a lot of things that have happened while I've grew up here, and some of them are Irish people, some of them are British, it's all different people from all over places, but it would never be to this extent if it was someone from here, if you get what I'm saying. It's not, I'm not saying the people doing it are racist, but I'm just saying they're more they don't care as much for them as people because they're not from here.
I think the rioters would say that they're doing this for women and girls. Do you believe them?
So I believe that they believe that. I believe that they have been indoctrinated into a way of thinking by people in positions of power around them. I think that people are so misinformed that they don't actually see the long-standing economic outcome for a generation of young people. So while our community stands back and watches young people from across Northern Ireland, not just our community, do these things and be radicalised, you're also not taking into account that opportunities are now going to be taken away from our young people. Our young people could potentially have criminal records. They potentially are not going to be able to work in face-facing jobs because if they have stuff on their records about discrimination or racialised attacks, that is something that's going to minimise your opportunities severely in life. And I think that we already live in a community where our opportunities are limited.
What opportunities are there for young guys like yourself in Ballymena?
There's, to be honest, I don't know. I'd say for opportunity-wise, for jobs, just go on a construction site. To be honest, be a joiner. That's but I DJ on the side as well.
Do you have a stage name?
Just my name. For now, I used to be DJ Rocket, but only the OGs know that one, only the OGs. But
Northern Ireland is one of the most dangerous places for women to live in Europe as it stands now. Nothing is being done. And while I do not stand with the violence that is happening at the minute, I suppose the message is getting across to the world. It shouldn't be this way. It should not be this way. But like I said, it shouldn't just be against foreign nationals. It is making this town look racist. It is portraying a completely different aspect than what we wanted it to portray. And it's disgusting. It is disgusting. But at the same time, it should have been combated. When it's local people from our area, the big boys, they go to the doors and they say, out. And that's that. Whereas when it came to this small group of foreign nationals in that one estate, they weren't backing down.
For generations and centuries, we have been fighting our neighbours who have been going through the exact same socioeconomic deprivation instead of actually blaming the people who are making the policies that have led to these things. And it's because, again, a lack of transparency. So I can't say I'm frustrated, but I'm sad. I'm saddened because I just want to bring my community together, and I just want my community to feel safe and most of all feel like they're being heard, because that's where this desperation came from, because they feel like this is the only way people are going to listen to them.
More rioting had been expected that evening, but torrential rain had cooled the rioters' passion for protecting women and girls. Or they just prioritised being warm and dry. We've been told that rioters would be congregating in this car park, but as you can see, there's absolutely nobody here. That evening, the streets were quiet. A women's protest planned in the area had been cancelled, so riot police were left mostly twiddling their thumbs. This is the closest it came to all kicking off. The race riots in Ballymena are over for now. but I'm sure that on a drier evening, they could ignite all over again.